All right. Good morning. Hello. And welcome back to Hippo Cup 6. Where we're in finals weekend. And we have a match. It's LG8 Bros versus Spezi. Very interesting, pair of matchups that we were supposed to have today, where you had Pawn versus MREX team that were like two of the favorites coming in, and then you had this match, which are like two teams that nobody would expect to still be here in top 6, with one of them getting top 4, whoever wins this. And of course that match got forfeited, so we got robbed of like one of the best matches that I think we were hoping to see in the entire tournament. And I can't lie, I'm extremely disappointed. But here we are nonetheless for the other match, which is something completely different. It's the Chinese players plus Kevin against, I'm going to read this team roster off and see if I can make it make sense, because it's Semi, Ahoff, Depiforce, Batball, Painted Koala, Polly, Rundy, Zubs, and Tim Kackner. And they're somehow 8 maps away from top 4. With all respect to the players on the team, I don't get it. Like, I don't know that I've seen a single one of their matches, because they always are playing at the same time as like a winner's bracket match or something, but it is actually mind-blowing to me that this team is potentially top 4 when you compare them to all the other rosters. So either they're way better than I think they are, or they're overperforming harder than anyone I've ever seen in any tournament in the history of my time in OSU, or they got the best bracket there's ever been, or I guess some combination of those factors. I'm not really sure. It's very much a Cinderella sort of run here, because I don't think anybody would have expected this team to still be alive at this stage of the tournament, and I obviously wouldn't blame them for thinking that. And by the same token, like, LG8 Bros getting all the way to winners semifinals with basically a 4-man roster. Like, it's David, Kurumi, Crystal, and Kevin, and then they have 2 other people to fulfill the minimum 6-player requirement. Like, the way this tournament has played out due to how the bracket worked out is just absolutely the most bizarro world shit you'll ever see. But in possibly a different fashion than I expected the other match to be good, I think this match should be good as well, because again, like, with all due respect to all of the players in this match, I think these are by far the 2 lowest skill cap teams remaining. They don't have any of those superstars. There's no Malashevskis here. There's no MREX here. There's no Rectigon Badu on the same team. There's no Kriller, Karcher, Mathy, etc., on the same team. Like, it's such completely the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of matchup, that it's really interesting to see that this is where we are coming into this second last week of the tournament. But be that all as it may, this is what we've got, and everything's come in. We've got DT1 and DT2 bans from LG8 Bros, so trying to avoid getting speed abused. Nomad 4, Hard Rock 5 bans from Spezi, which, I mean, it's Slider Vomit Tech and like flow swing rhythm with slider aim for those bans. So I guess that's just they don't want to play slider aim. but this is one where I genuinely have no idea anything about this match. I don't know what they're going to pick. I don't know who's going to be playing what maps, for, especially for Spezi. I mean, J8 Bros is just going to be the same for everything. I don't know who plays anything on this Spezi team because, like I said, they've just not been on stream, like, at all. And I don't know who wins. I think J8 Bros arguably have, like, a couple of higher skill cap players, or at least, you know, they have Crystal, who's probably the best player in this lobby. But Spezi just keeps winning matches that they, on paper, shouldn't. So clearly they're figuring something out over the course of this tournament, whatever that may be, I don't know. But we're gonna start off with a little free mod 5 action, which is a lot of flow aim, some really difficult snapping, and like what's the name of the map? Free Songs Rolling Hell. They have a hidden on semi. Thank you, tournament client. One map in, we're already getting missing mods. Made no dark side. Rolling Gothic mix. That's the map. It's like a double section like in that map. But harder because it's like flow doubles instead of just back and forth doubles. So this is gonna be really difficult. This entire pool is really, really difficult. Like there are just no free easy combo maps at all. So this is absolutely, you know, finals, grand finals, Hippo Cup. Like the skill cap is going to be the key factor, and I think that in a way advantages all J8 Bros because, like I said, Crystal is just the best player between these teams, and I don't think it's particularly close, unfortunately. So we'll see what he can do to try to carry. We'll see what everybody else can do to try to keep up. And so far, it is all J8 Bros off to the early 1,000,000-point lead. And here's those doubles. Yeah, that looked fun. Crystal hit that entire freaking thing. David also hit most of it. Batball doing pretty well for himself, but leads still over 1,000,000 points to all J8 Bros. And yeah, we're gonna be seeing probably all no fail this week because there's a lot of fail potential in a lot of these maps, so I want to avoid that risk. Batball having a good showing in the back third of this map, but Crystal and David are both matching it, so not gonna be able to bring back any of the score gap. And that is going to be a nice big flow aim section at the end. And that's going to be all J8 Bros taking the 1-0 lead. Their own first pick going just fine for them. So, double ban on the DTs from all J8 Bros means that Spezi is going to go ahead and first pick a high BPM DT for themselves. It's going to be DT4 Life Reset button. 300 BPM AR 10.3. It's a early 2010s. It was like 2010, 2011, I think. Yeah, 2011. So it's got that old style kind of aim patterning and some very fast bursts. Some brutally fast bursts. 300 BPM is nothing to be trifled with. And so if you are a team that does not like being speed abused, you're probably going to have a not super great time. If you're a team that really like speed, then you're probably gonna have a pretty good time. So, Spezi picking this one makes a lot of sense given the bans from LGA Pros. And we'll see how it goes then. Roster switches aplenty for Team Spezi, bringing in Rundi, Akarinya, and Polly. J-Pros, of course, keeping the same roster. Also, this is best of 15, but I'm going to set the client to best of 13. And when I get a second in between maps, I will maybe add some stars in OBS, because I think the best of 15 is just not supported. Anything above best of 13 is just not supported by the stable tournament client. It just goes to 0 of whatever instead of actually showing like the stars like this. So I will hopefully be able to get that fixed in between the next couple maps. And yeah, so like most maps from this era, this map has a lot of breaks. I don't know what it was about 2000, like pre-2000, maybe 13, 2012, but there were just break times all over in lots of maps. So gonna look out for players to get a chance to rest, which is kind of nice on a map this fast. This map basically just bludgeons you over the head with the fact that it's extremely high BPM and requiring the AR 10.3 reading, of course. The actual like aim components are not that difficult. You wouldn't really expect them to be on a map like this. But it's really just all about your ability to tap your way through the bursts and the triples and things like that, which Rundi and Polly are both doing for Spezi, and Crystal is doing for LG8 Bros. And with Crystal breaking, they would have had a chance there. Rundi and Polly both broke also, but is Akarinya the only combo left in the lobby? And at this point, this is kind of not comebackable actually already. We're halfway through, but I mean, it's a 3 million point lead, and Akarinya is doing quite well for himself. 98 AC, S rank, still on the board. So, looking like we will have the early tie. It's going to be 1-1 after this one. Let me go over to LG8 Bros for the next pick, but this might just be how this match goes. Like LG8 Bros picking weird stuff and Spezi picking raw mechanics. I think that's what they did last week against Team Karcher, who they beat in a shocking, like, super one-sided 7-3, and I think a lot of that was just speed of use. Oh my goodness, it's Mope Mope. It's actually Mope Mope. Alright, hang on for a little, share X here real quick. Try something really troll. Alright, we're going to add an image star. I gotta go find the screenshot I just took real quick. No, I can't move it. Let me move move it. There we go. All right, ignore the fact that this looks really bad right now. Let's see. Where is the... Yeah, also, your ears will not thank you for this one. I think I should turn this down. Should I turn this down, guys? What do you think? Can I not just... Actually, where do you... Is there not a way to just manually position something? I've never... I know there's a way to do this. I don't remember what it is. If I'd been smart, I would have just gotten like a blank or a transparent background star. Let's see. But of course, copy, paste, duplicate. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Sorry for my OBS. Alright, I'm leaving this for just a second while we're in the map, and I'll fix it after. Alright, so we have no Ahoff. We have the 4 from G8 Bros. We have Ahoff, Depi Force, Semi, and Batball. This is AR small, AR low, AR 5. And it's just the most brutal 2B bullshit you've ever seen. Like, apparently this is actually quote-unquote FCable, or I guess you could say, like, you can play this map without breaking your combo. You won't get an S rank, you might get an A rank. It's not even close to a full combo because of the sliders, obviously, and the fact that it's 2B. But according to some people I've spoken to, this is actually, like, FCable, you know, in the context of what kind of map it is. It's not, I don't know how to word that. Like, it's not a full combo. It's not an S rank, but it's possible to zero miss. I guess you could just say zero miss, right? But it's about to get really fun because the shit gets really stupid in this coming section at the end here. And actually, yeah, here. Sorry, yeah, that's probably better. I don't know if the referee is watching, but please change the song to anything else from the pool when this is over. Thank you. Spezi in the lead here. But there is there's combo on David, but it kind of doesn't matter because Depi Force and Batball are both comboing. I think picking this into that team was actually a mistake because Depi Force is really good at low AR. And I guess Batball is just good. I don't know. So that is a break point. Well, it wasn't a bad pick. I mean, it's 140k, but it is a break point, and Spezi will take a 2-1 lead into their next selection. And yeah, D ranks across the board because it's not actually a playable map. Oh, they insta-picked. Okay, don't have to worry about changing the song. All right. Specify initiation. Not what I want to do. Oh, edit. It's via transform. That doesn't make much sense, but okay. What is in the transform menu? I don't even. That makes no sense. Edit transform. Position. Let's try here. too low. Too high. Right there. Yeah, that's good enough. The size is actually the problem. It's like slightly bigger. I don't know if I can. This is just gonna be an iterative work in progress here, guys, because I don't know the exact location that that star needs to go to properly look like aligned. Anyway, into another free mod pick we go, and yeah, this is just more speed abuse. Spezi going with the 250 BPM breakcore map. Heavy tapping. Their modus operandi in this match. When you are the mechanics team in the late round. Though LG8 Bros do have the early lead. It is Kevin and Kurumi holding some pretty solid combo in the early goings. There's a break from Kevin, unfortunately, and Kurumi follows up right after. Now it's Rundy and Ocarina gonna bring that lead right back over. They're gonna go ahead and run away with this one in the middle. Well, not even middle third yet, but you know. Yeah, if you don't have the burst tolerance for this map, you're just going to have a very hard time. You run out of that stamina, and it gets really hard really fast once you reach a certain point. And, you know, for LG8 Bros, it appears that they reached that point. They were doing so well until they weren't. And now Spezi, actually not doing the super greatest themselves, obviously, but they got the lead out to 5-6 million points, and that's really what matters. And that's going to be another point. They're going to consolidate the break point, so they'll take a 3-1 lead. Not much to say here. This is just one team mechanically gapping the other team by a pretty considerable margin. That being said, David is acquitting himself well, at least in the later portions of this pick, but not nearly enough combo to really be influential on the outcome of the map. That's a very good showing from him. He's actually going to get the second highest score in the lobby after Rundy, but the combination of Rundy, Ocarina, and Poly more than enough to outdo LG8 Bros by a pretty sizable margin, and that is going to be the consolidated breakpoint. So they back it up, and they go 3-1. They still have Nomad 2 if they want to go tapping. They do also have, well, not really much else. Any of the other maps that are at least kind of tapping focused are like, kind of a split focus. You've got Nomad 2, which is, it's 210 BPM, but it's also 5.5 minutes long. Like, who the fuck wants to play that? You've got DT6, which is more alt than anything else, not speed, despite being high BPM. DT5 is just aim. DT3 is just, you don't want to play DT3 unless you're like one of 4 players in the world. I don't actually know now. I don't know now where they go. When they use their 2 best tapping high BPM picks right off the bat, and it obviously served them well. It gave them the 3-1 lead, but They're gonna have to change up the strategy just due to a dearth of relevant picks. What's interesting here is that we're seeing Hard Rock 3, which is just like alt aim with some streams thrown in. So it's not quite as quote unquote like weird as I might have expected LG8 Bros to go based on their previous picks. And so, in we're going to go. We've got Paniqual, Deputy Force, Ocarina, and Semi. I don't even need to say who's playing for G8 Bros, because it's going to be the same 4 people for every map. But this is pretty difficult. Curious if, you know, all G8 Bros are going to go strat-wise, like, pick Crystal maps because he's your best player, or if it's still pick, like, team maps. Pick Kurumi maps as well, because he's been generally playing really well over the past few weeks. I think, you know, you're kind of just trying to cover as best you can for the other players the way they've been performing and are expected to kind of perform based on what I've heard from that team. You know, Spezi kind of has a wider range of options, you know, since they actually have a full team instead of 4 players. So in that regard, Spezi definitely has the advantage of roster flexibility for different types of maps. But, I mean, obviously starting off with 2 very similar, just going kind of as speedy as they can, but we're going to have to see what they'll be able to do afterward. You know, No on 5 went well for them, despite it being their opponent's pick. It was very closely fought, but they had a couple of really good scores on it. And they're getting some good scores here as well. They've got 3 solid combos on Deputy Force, Semi, and Ocarina. Decent combos on David, Kurumi, and Crystal as well, though, so this one's going to stay very close. You know, one of those combos breaks, it can be life or death on this pick. And the end gets quite difficult. Some of the alt aim patterns in this are very hard. Deputy Force, David, and Crystal all breaking. Semi the next. Kevin following up. It's Paniqual and Ocarina who are going to hold on to this lead. Kurumi has a combo to match Ocarina, but unfortunately Paniqual is a free combo. There goes Ocarina, but it's so close to the end that it's just not going to matter, especially not with Kurumi breaking. It's full resets for all G8 Bros. Paniqual holding on through, wow, all but the last note of that pattern at the end, and that is another break point and a 4-1 lead. Spezi taking control of this match quickly. Maybe they don't just need to speed abuse. Just won 2 break points on non-speed. Paniqual with a 5 miss. Best in lobby, tied with Ocarina and with Crystal. But I don't know, I felt like he actually, Deputy Force had the best score, even though he had 12 misses. Hidden plus combo game early on, I guess? I don't know. It felt like Paniqual and Ocarina both performed better on that map, but there you go. Thank you, Turn Client. Very cool. So 4-1. Spezi lead. Their pick next. It went DT4 Fremont 3, which were both very fast. But they also won breakpoints on Nomad 5 and Hard Rock 3, which are, you know, gimmick and then alt Hard Rock aim with some sliders. So, you know, I think the world is kind of their oyster at this point. They can try different things. And considering that there really isn't a just raw speed pick remaining, they're going to have to. They don't really have a choice in the matter. We'll see where they decide to go. It's going to have to be, I mean, at least a little bit different. Back to fixing stars here. Well, that actually looks pretty decent. Alright, I'm just going to leave that as it is. I gotta get some gold stars to put over top for whoever wins, but I'm far too lazy to do it right now. Wow, we're actually getting DT3. All right, so I'm not gonna go out and say like this is the hardest map in the pool, but this is certainly the map that has like the worst scores on the leaderboard and throws some of the craziest stuff out there. If you look at the DT leaderboards, like any of them, hidden double time only, DT no fail, hidden double time no fail, there's literally like sub 10 passes. I think there's 4. Yeah, there's 4 passes, and one of them's fancy lad with a 5 miss. Meanwhile, the others are 38, 42, and 48 misses from Elysian, and then 2 dudes I've never heard of. And then after that, it's just all people playing like DT no fail and getting 600 misses because, I don't know, whatever reason people do that sort of thing. This is like absolutely mental pick. There's just basically no one in the world who can play this map all that well. And by basically, I mean, what are there, like maybe 4 or 5 people? I really would have liked to see this in the pawn matchup. I was really hoping to get to see that match played and this map played in it because, you know, imagine seeing like Emrek on this or Taquito on this or whatever. Would have been kind of cool, I reckon. Milo Milkshake on this? Thoughts? Thoughts on Milo Milkshake on this? Would be kind of gross. This is the rare Hippo Cup map that, like, there's just, like, no Hippo Cup players on the leaderboard. Why would you need to open more slots? It's 4v. You only have 4 people on your team who are gonna play it. I'm a little confused. What are we opening more slots for? I think if you need more slots to move players around, it's just a skill issue. All right. Standard 4 for G8 Bros. Panaquala, Rundy, Deputy Force, Icarina for Spezi. I feel like they have a, like, not limited roster, but they're largely using the same people. Kim Kackner, not here at all. Ahaf has been in for 1 map. Zub's playing 0 maps. So you have 2 people on their team who haven't played at all. Anyway, this is just really, really hard, and you're not going to see, I don't think you're likely to see good scores on this map. Like, people may combo the verses, but it's also, like, AR 10.5, I believe. AR 10.6, excuse me. So, you know, if it wasn't hard enough already with all the technical aspects that it throws at you, it also is 10.6, so you're having to read this all at a high BPM, high AR. And yeah, I mean, look at the lobby. Nobody has any combo at all. Wow. You know, like, I get the Hippo Cup experience, but this feels like a competition of who will do the least badly rather than who will actually do the best. And I don't know, like, I guess that's the whole point. Maybe we'll do better in some of the later sections of the map. That beginning is just really hard. So maybe I'll. Nope. Okay. No. It's no. Yeah, this is just dumb. All right. Winning score over under 6 million points. Maybe higher than that. We're almost at 4 million and we're not even halfway through yet. Winning score over under 10 million points on a 4-minute long DT with score v1. There's just nobody in this lobby who can play this map at all. It's staying really close is the funny thing, because literally just nobody can combo at all. But it's also kind of staying close in a really tragic fashion because it's just a lot of red on the screen. Like, it's just, yeah, it's just red names everywhere you look. Wow. If anybody has suggestions on how I'm meant to commentate something like this, is Ocarina Tim Kackner? Well, it doesn't show up in his name history. Does it not show up in his? So it was I guess it was a revert. Like I said, I just don't know anybody from that team. So I wouldn't have any way of knowing that. But okay, that's just he must have reverted his name because it doesn't show up in previously known as. I guess that's fair. I don't know. I hate that Osu does that. It really annoys me because it's like impossible to find out who somebody is in certain cases. Or, well, not impossible, but it's like harder. And we have a lead Spezi. 200 combo on Rundy. That's just gonna pull it into the station. All right, I could have done over under 9 million, I guess, huh? Rundy held on through the entire ending. All right, well, they hit the over, guys. Holy moly, they hit the over. Thanks to Rundy and Deppy Force and Panic Koala all doing okay at the end. Wow, wasn't that just a really entertaining 4 minutes of our lives we just got to spend watching really good players getting 20 to 40 to 50 misses? That was really enjoyable. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. I'm really glad this was in the pool. I feel like I'm just disillusioned with the concept of Hippo Cup. Like, it was cool 4 years ago. It's like less cool now. Next week's DT3 is like actually, and I can't believe I'm saying this, like next week's DT3 is actually just harder, and it's long. It's also longer, and it's higher AR. So you know, just stay on your toes for next week's DT3. The Grand Finals pool is fully unhinged. The good thing with the Grand Finals pool is that I'm assuming that it's going to be teams One Dance, Reginald, and Pon as the ones playing it, who are the high skill cap teams remaining in the tournament, and who will have a little better showing on some of those maps than I think the players in this particular match. But at the same time, like, it's just going to be really goddamn hard no matter what. So Nomad 7, which is one of our 2 Nomad 6s in this Nomad pool, if that makes sense. Because Nomad 6 and Nomad 7 are kind of both Nomad 6 maps. Folks who watched OWC last year will, of course, be familiar with this one, because this was OWC 2022 Grand Finals Nomad 5. Well, they call it Nomad 5, but it was the Nomad 6 slot because I don't know. They decided they were going to change the meta, and their idea of changing the meta was moving Nomad 5 to free mod and not replacing it, so Nomad 6 just became Nomad 5. That was a really cool change that definitely worked super well. Instead of every single match in the tournament picking Nomad 5, literally nobody picked free mod 3. But my soapbox on that matter notwithstanding, this is a super rhythm heavy, very tricky, like cursor and finger control, but there's also like some complex kind of aim and reading thrown into it just to keep you on your toes. This is worst HR player map, Utami map, like Taquito map probably, and another one that a lot of players are gonna struggle with, but Crystal being Crystal is doing stuff here that is giving all G8 Bros the lead. I don't know, just sit back and watch Crystal, because goddamn, that dude is popping off right now. 85 act notwithstanding, he is holding, I don't know if that's an FC or not, because the act makes it kind of impossible to tell, but it's certainly a very good combo at the very least. And he's just gonna... I was gonna say he's gonna solo carry it. He What? Where? Did he just leave? Or is it over? He just left. He missed and he just left. I don't even think he DC'd because there was no interval at all. Like normally when somebody DCs, there's like a brief period where like you see their screen freeze and then they leave, but he just left. And the MP link even reports it instantly, which I don't know if he just didn't want to submit a score. Let's see what this does in the MP, because they won it anyway. But like, what? Actually, okay, so the MP link has them not winning. I don't know if his game just like the thing is, right, like normally when somebody's game crashes or when they DC, there's a brief interval where, you know, you see it like frozen in the tournament client, and then it shows them leaving. Yeah, you just heard me for like half a second. I'm opening the VOD. But here it was just literally instant. I don't know. His score when that happened? I think it was fine. Scanning through the VOD here. All right. Well, he had at least 2.4 million. Yeah. I mean, his score was at least 2.45 million, and they lost by 2.336 million. So they do win the point. But that's like, that was weird as hell. There's no shade. So that is going to be the second point on the board for all G8 Bros, and they go to 5-2 down. And Spezi is not. Spezi are going to hop straight into double time 6. So I mean, I kind of threw this out there as a potential pick for them because they were picking those speedy maps earlier. But this is just alt, right? Like this isn't actually a speed map. It's fast, but it's just it's alt. Also high AR. This is 10.53. almost as high AR as DT3, so that is something to take into consideration when you note that Ultimate Bros did have some trouble, or at least appeared like they had trouble with the reading kind of component of the DT3 pick. No, timeouts are not a thing in this tournament. Pretty sure they have players who need to go play 3WC soonish as well. A little surprised that they'd want to do anything that causes the map to match the delay. Alright, I guess we're just chilling. Great, there's no timeout in the rules. Unfortunate, but such is life. We have like 90 seconds or whatever built in for readying up, but you know. Tell you what, guys, I try to positive and upbeat and stuff, but this is already just wearing thin on me. I'm not even gonna lie. This is just so not it. Especially when you have a team that has people playing at like midnight. Well, and for Kevin, it's like 4 a.m. or something. I don't know. This feels like low-key VM, I won't lie. She might even be later than that. I don't know. Oh, it's 2 a.m. Excuse me. Sorry. Let's see how long this has been. Okay, this has been 3 minutes now since the original. No, it's actually been 4 minutes now. All right, well, they're back. Whatever. Good enough. And one of the teams tries to take an extra hidden because apparently knowing the rules like 6 weeks into the tournament is just too difficult. So we will abort and restart for the proper 2 hiddens per the rules. And like unironically, I feel like hidden might almost make this easier just because I know there are a decent number of people out there who I think have an easier time reading high AR with hidden, but maybe we'll start eventually and we'll get to play another map after 10 minutes. I don't know. Holy crap, we finally started. All right, so we got Debbie Horse, Poly, Ocarina, and Painted Koala. I don't have to keep calling him Ocarina or Tim Kackner now that I know that that's Tim Kackner. What's going on? I don't know what's going on in the lobby. There's people talking in the lobby, but obviously the map is going on. Poly just 1v9ing. Actually, no, Painted Koala has a pretty solid score. But if he keeps comboing, it's going to be like 1v9. There goes Poly. Finally breaks, but give the team a 1.8 million point lead. This is like where you see, right? Like it's alt with some slightly awkward slider aim. Not much more. I mean, it's not really raw speed, and it's not really raw aim. You just have those kind of those square patterns to contend with, and then the like sliders to contend with. But Spezi once again just kind of rolling on another DT pick here. Actually, the last one went down to the wire. I mean, it was quite close until the end. This, however, 4.3 million. It doesn't feel like it. This is. I mean, this map was just at no point close after the first like 200 combo. I actually feel like those. I don't know if it's like 3 over 4 rhythm or whatever you call that. Those sliders, that pattern might be the hardest thing for people to combo in this map, like this thing. People have been having a lot of trouble keeping combo through those. But Painted Koala and Poly, Poly now alone into the ending. 5 million point lead. Long since over. It's gonna be 6-2. Spezi about to be 2 points away from top 4. And there they go. And yeah, Poly with a pretty monster score on that. Ocarina and Painted Koala putting up very respectable scores as well. Debbie Force, 4th player syndrome. They needed to have somebody in on it with hidden. Not with hidden, excuse me, with Nomad. Maybe, yeah, they needed a 4th player and he filled that role. Didn't really matter because the other 3 did their jobs. Well, G8 Bros. Nomad 6 time. Gotta be Nomad 6 time, right? Or maybe Hard Rock 4? I see Hard Rock 4 here. I need Spezi to pick DT5 after this, just so we use the entire DT pool. 2 bans, 4 picks in the DT pool would be kind of baller. But LG Bro's gonna probably try to come up with, you know, something here, a serious amount of thought going into this pick because of the danger that they are in this match overall. Just don't know where you go if you're them at this point. I mean, it's probably, you know, a gimmicky map. It's not mechanics, but you've got Nomad 6, Hard Rock 4, arguably Hard Rock 2, but I don't, for some reason, I don't feel like they want Hard Rock 2, even though the other team banned Nomad 4 and Hard Rock 5. Like, I feel like Hard Rock 2 wouldn't be a bad option, but it doesn't seem like they want to go that direction. And it's going to be True Mud 2, so I mean, you know, you're keeping in the same sort of concept where it's very rhythm heavy. This one has some crazy aim as well. Those like small back and forths are nightmarish. This feels like it's going to be a really difficult one as well. I mean, everything in this pool is really difficult, I guess. It's not as bad as DT3. Nothing's as bad as DT3. That's the upside. But you've got some super flowy rhythm to this map. It is not simple. Gonna assume that G8 Bros are gonna have the same people, and Spezi are gonna have most of the same people. So, pardon my again, share Xing, but I'm gonna need a gold star in a moment. And in we're gonna go with G8 Bros against Painakwala, Patball, Ahoff, and Deppy Force. Spezi, if they can get another break point here, we'll be at match point. G8 Bros trying to avoid that eventuality. This is such a hard map. Kevin breaking early on. Other 7 players do manage to hold through the first couple hundred combo. Maybe the first time that everybody made it to, was that 200? Full reset for Spezi. 3FC is still alive for all G8 Bros. And there goes Kurumi, but David and Crystal do hold, and that is going to be a 2 million plus point lead. So as long as they can keep it up for just a little bit longer, that is going to be pretty difficult to do anything about if you're Spezi. But breaks on David and Kevin. Meanwhile, Batball and Ahoff are building up a fair amount of combo for themselves into these back and forths. This section is just nasty. And yeah, not many people having a great time here. Kurumi, the only one to combo through at all. But that's all they need. They've got the lead already. And so if the other team doesn't hit stuff, it doesn't really matter. G8 Bro's just going to hold on to this lead pretty comfortably. Unless something really crazy happens in the last quarter of the map, they're in a very good spot to put another point up on the big board. HC6 will be 6-3 the score after this one. And some nice combo here at the end from both David and Crystal. Accuracy be damned, because you don't really act this map. It's just not an act map unless you're one of a couple of players in the world, like you're a Koro or a Kriller or a Taquito or something. But that is a pretty nice score for Crystal. I think a pretty decent score for David as well. Not as great. Mostly just Crystal. It's the Crystal show. It's Crystal's world. We're just living in it. One of 2 A ranks in the lobby, along with Batball, who finished with the lowest miscount. Unfortunately, couldn't put together a great combo. Don't mind me. Really not right. Size is good. Wow, it's so small. Why is it so small? What in the heck? Okay, there's to fix the size. That is bizarre. 37. Yeah, obviously that gold star shouldn't be there, don't worry. I'm just trying to fix the location and I have to be able to see it to fix it. Good enough. Wow, okay, that's actually perfect. Look at that! Oh, it's a beast. Alright, sorry. We do finally get the Spezi No Mod 2 pick. Kind of thought this might happen. I'm gonna go take a nap. I think I'm gonna drive to Starbucks and get a coffee. Let me know if anybody wants anything, because we're gonna be here for a frickin' while. I don't know. It's personally very hard for me to get into a map that's this long in a pool, especially when it's Scorpy 1. Because it can be over 2 minutes in and then you're here for another 3 minutes after that, you know what I mean? It's like with, what's it called? True Mod 5 Caravan last week? Where, like, if you broke in the first couple thousand combo, it was just over, and then it's 5 more minutes, and it gets progressively harder. Doesn't no-fail... Did they change no-fail EP modifier? Or Or am I stupid? All right. So into Nomad 2 we go. It's 5.5 minutes long. It's winter. And that is all I have to say about that. Interestingly enough, like, this might be a map that the most people in this lobby can actually play, despite being 7.98 stars. If you're a stream player, like, this is just a stream map. I'm kind of curious how it's going to progress. Really great from Batball on kind of the aim in the first there. A little weird. Hidden on this has got to be brutal. Just hidden flow aim being, at least by my estimation, one of the harder kind of basic skill sets that doesn't require, you know, any sort of gimmick. Just being able to read hidden flow streams, especially when they're super ugly, bizarro world streams like this map has. And we get breaks coming in from Poly, Ocarina, and Kurumi, so it's now a triple FC for all G8 Bros against just Rundy with the FC for Spezi. It's going to give them a pretty big lead. This is what I'm talking about, where, you know, if those guys hold on to these combos, they're already up over 700, so that lead can get so big very early on in a Nomad 2 that's, you know, going to be relatively note dense. As we get through some free combo here. Kurumi with another break. Oh, Crystal and Crystal and Kevin both break before we get to really anything super difficult. They didn't break on the big streams or anything, but fortunately for them, Poly, Batball, and Rundy all broke on that stream. So it is David versus the world, and okay, there we go. Big spaced fuck you stream causes a basically full reset. Rundy at 250 combo, the only one with anything going, and yeah. This is absolute peak Osu gameplay. This is why we tune in to watch, man. This is what we are here for, is just red X's all over the fucking screen, nobody able to hit a goddamn note. This is absolutely the height of performance. This is what Osu tournaments are all about. This is what they're meant to be like. I'm just so thrilled to be here with you guys, bringing you this tantalizing gameplay. And the score is going to go over to Spezi because all G8 Bros have not been able to combo anything for quite some time. Meanwhile, Ocarina, actually it's all four of Spezi are just holding combo, and they're going to bring this one over. Lead at the early stage would have been good for all G8 Bros, but they couldn't hit anything the rest of the way. David with the only combo at 450, but not nearly enough to do anything about the combined 2,000 combo from Spezi across the members. That ball almost just got slow slidered, I'm pretty sure. That was very, very close. Well, it's going to be another 0.1 on Spezi's pick by Spezi. They've done well in that regard for themselves. They've not been close to dropping a break point. They just are very, very far ahead of all G8 Bros in the tapping mechanics department, especially on a high-end pool like this, and they've kind of abused that fact multiple times. And they're going to give themselves, they're going to give themselves a match point for their trouble. A bunch of match points, in fact. 7-3 in this best of 15. And now all G8 Bros will have a pick to try to stay alive in the tournament. Spezi catch another break point here. It's all over immediately. Otherwise, it'll go back over to them for the next... Oh my god, I'm going to... 5.5 minute no mod 2. Let's go back to back with the 5.5 minute no mod 3. Woo! Yes! Yes! Yes, Osu! Let's go. I love 11 minutes for 2 maps. It's so cool. Interestingly enough, 2 of the top 4 scorers on this leaderboard are from Painted Koala on Team Spezi and from Crystal on Team All G8 Bros. So that's a thing. So you can perform better in the actual match, I guess. So we got Painted Koala, Semi, Debbie Force, Ocarina. Well, I went to Starbucks and came back during the last mat, so maybe now I'll like go to Jimmy John's or something and come back doing this map. I don't know. I actually feel like this one will probably be pretty contested. I mean, technically the last point was kind of contested, at least until a certain juncture. So, be interesting to see if this one goes similarly. There's an early break from David. And gives Spezi the advantage. WForce did break right at the start, so did Kevin, but I mean, they're not really impactful misses. WForce is like a leaderboard farmer. I feel like he's probably pretty decent at this sort of thing, and he's obviously a hidden main as well. But there goes Crystal also. It's down to Kurumi with the FC and Kevin with the backing combo just behind. There goes Kevin. This is... Wow. Still 4 big combos for Spezi, and their lead is going to start to get really big if they can hold. There goes Semi. He's their first real miss in the meaningful combo miss department. There goes WForce as well, right at the end of that slightly difficult section. So we're down to Panikwala and Ocarina with the FCs against Kurumi with the lone FC for LG8 Bros. But if those two hold on for Spezi, it just doesn't really matter what anybody else does. Unless all of G8 Bros recover and get some crazy combos going. Doesn't look like that's maybe going to happen as Kevin breaks again. Crystal not on the greatest combo. Ocarina breaks. Okay, 1v1. Kurumi versus Panikwala. 11 million points in Spezi's favor, however. And there goes Kurumi. Panikwala holds on. That might be the death knell for all G8 Bros. Spezi just outperforming them. Solid backing combos to match David and Crystal, while Panikwala just has this FC still alive. And yeah, I don't know. I thought this match overall was going to be a pretty competitive affair, but Spezi are somehow just outclassing. Well, breaks do come in, so it's now no combo for Spezi against David and Crystal. That's a 16 million points though they've got to try to bring back. They've both basically got to hold for a long time. They've got a lot of combo though. Is there, like, technically speaking, this is comebackable, but they both have to keep up for so long. Alright, if this actually happens, it's down to 8 million. Still got a lot of time and a lot of combo. There goes Crystal, though. Can David bring this back on his own with 1200 combo? Against 300, 400, 400? Boy. Oh, it's a triple reset. Wait a minute. Spezi just handed the map to David if he can continue to hold. 4 million. It's coming down. Oh my god. I hate it here. It's coming down and he breaks at the end. Oh my goodness. That was a nuts combo that he just held for that entire time. Wait a minute. It's a full reset and it's only 2 million points and Kurumi has 230 combo. Wait just a minute. I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough. Oh, you feel for David here so hard, man. He just played his little heart out, and it's gonna all be for naught. And Spezi take the point, and they take the match. It's gonna be a final score of 8. 8-3. And they're your winners. The shocking top 4. Team Spezi. We haven't seen a Cinderella in Hippo Cup for like 3 or 4 years since it was like the teams that we made. There was like My Angel Jonah in Hippo Cup 2, and then Death Sentence in Hippo Cup 3, getting top 4 both times. We haven't seen a real Cinderella since then, and that is now Spezi here. I still don't know how they've done it. I really don't know if they've just been doing this in speed of using teams that aren't good at speed the entire time and getting breakpoints randomly on oddball maps. If that's just what they've been doing, I guess more credit to them, but man, I don't know. Don't have the answers, but they will face against Pawn. That'll be tomorrow, 14 UTC, to be followed by the winners final at 17 UTC. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Congratulations to Spezi. All J Pros drop out top 6. And that's it. That's all I got for you today. Don't FF finals, kids. It's not cool. See you later.